Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Chantele. And we are here to talk about Survivor South Africa episode, unlucky number 13.
It was unlucky for a couple people, I feel like. But wow, it took us on a journey, up, down, all around. Can't wait to break it down with you. But first, if you're new to this channel, please click subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Okay. Well, at the top of this episode, everything's normal. Anela was sent back from tribal, so he's so happy to be safe. But also, you can't buy his loyalty.
I was really confused. But this was the first instance in this episode where I was like, whoa, he's just really not great at playing this game, because that would be the perfect way to use that. He definitely thinks that he has me, but let me use it so that we can work together, get me further in the game. Then maybe I can, have his trust and I can take him out or whatever. I thought he would use that to his advantage, not just be completely nope, I'm not going to be working with you at all. Ha ha ha. You thought that you might be buying my loyalty, but you won't. Let him buy your loyalty and then use it against him later. I don't know. I just was I didn't think that was the best strategy, to just be completely anti-Chappies after he did just save you from being voted out.
Well, it gets worse from there. So when Chappies gets back from tribal, he would like some respect. And Tyson's not going to give it to him. And I was like, guys, just sleep on it. He just got back from tribal. They are still heated. And ain't getting no respect.
Why is he so mad at Chappies? Okay, yes. I know Chappies, he's been stealing some food.
Why is he so mad at Chappies?
But but from beforehand, you know what I mean? For him to I have absolutely no respect for him whatsoever. We know the food thing. We know that he kind of is a little bit of a troublemaker, but nothing to be so angry over. Yes, this tribal wasn't good, but before that, he had that animosity. How did that all?
They don't click. They do not get along. They are not working together. This is the first time we hear the name, the League of Shadows.
It's a nice name,
right? Anela, Tyson, and Kieran. They are the League of Shadows. And yeah, it is a nice name. I like it. That's a weird trio, but Ward is gone now. So they can openly say, sure, Anela, we totally want you to be our
Operation
third.
Get Rid of Chappies. I was like, oh boy.
Good luck with that. We're going to get right to a reward challenge, and it's family visit time. This caught me off guard because we've had so many letters and videos. I kind of thought that was substituting in maybe times of COVID or something, but nope, we got to have our families here. It's a lot of siblings. One friend and one spouse, but mostly siblings, which I really enjoy siblings. I love a brother-sister duo. I love sisters. Santinia's sister looks just like her. Yes. This was great. Chantele, were you crying the whole time?
No cries. No, not even close to a tear. I was embracing my inner Sarah, and I was stone cold. I enjoyed it. I love seeing the different relationships, of course, but not a tear.
Not a tear. It was cute. It was nice to see Tyson smiling and happy and not a robot. But yeah, great. No tears needed here. They're going to do a challenge where you're holding out the long pole with a thingy at the end. And basically you need some good upper body strength here and some balance. And surprisingly, Kieran is out almost immediately. I was shocked.
Was he trying to make himself appear as weak? I was like, what's happening here, Kieran? Because it seemed like something he should have been able to win. I think we even said that him or Tyson were most likely going to win that. I think we said that last week.
Right. Yeah. Well, I thought it was immunity from the preview, but
right. That's true.
Santini is still she's not first out. It's crazy when Kieran falls before Santini, but I feel like he just didn't have his footing or something happened. Then Santini's out. Then Nicole falls. then Anella. So we're down to Chappies and Tyson, as it seems to be these days. And Tyson just can't hang on, and he drops. And Chappies is going to win reward here.
Did you scream? Because I screamed.
I think I might have. I was like, oh. But at this point, I'm not rooting for one over the other.
Sorry, I'm rooting for Chappie. I'm Chappie's all the way. I'm like, I mean, I guess I was just annoyed with like how he's like, oh, you're my enemy and all that stuff. And I was like, come on, like Chappie's is like, yes, he's a little bit of an annoying character and like he's doing these silly things, but like he's just so smiley. Like he doesn't seem like someone to get people that angry over. I feel like everything should just blow over around what Chappie's does. So the fact that he's just so mad at him all the time, I'm just supporting Chappie's because like he's being really targeted. He's not being treated very well, and he's still kind of smiling and having a good time. So I like Chappie's right now.
I like Chappies as well. I just like them both. I think they both bring very interesting things to the table. So I was up for either to win here, but Chappies does not win what he thinks he wins. It turns out everyone's going to get a family visit, so that's nice. But Chappies gets to choose who is going to compete against him for immunity. I think this is a massive reward.
I mean, I'm sure if they knew that that was what the reward was, Kieran would have held on a lot or tried a little bit harder. Like maybe it's like, okay, it's just to not see my family. Maybe like this would take me away from some people and like allow them to target me. So like maybe he intentionally didn't want to win that particular reward. But like if he knew that it had so much power, maybe he would have tried a little harder.
Yeah. Nail yourself to it and do not budge because wow, he obviously is going to choose Santony and Anella and leave Kirsten. Yeah, I'm going to call them Kirsten. Tyson and Kieran together are now Kirsten. He's going to not give them the chance to compete. And Nicole, those are the three best competitors. So smart choice on Chappie's part there.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I was thinking that he would have chosen Nicole just because if it was anything like physical, like where a male's dominance might be beneficial, he would be able to beat her. But Nicole is great at swimming, so yeah, I can understand that. And then she's really good at balancing. So yeah, I think he did make the right decision. I was worried about Anella though, just because like it could be something in his wheelhouse,
Right. True. So they're all going to hang out with their family. They show us some good game talk here. People are sort of laying out the lay of the land for their family members. But the most important part here is that Kieran is keeping an eye out, and he finds the idol.
How did Santony not find this idol?
Right?
I feel like she's always looking for them. So like, why did she find it?
She must have been too distracted by her sister or something. But Kieran's going to find it.
Like with Kieran's like, oh, as soon as they're on a reward challenge, and especially if it's sponsored, that it's going to have, like, I didn't know that was another tell of hidden immunity.
No, absolutely not. But I was like, that's actually genius because then you have to do close-ups of the sign and the branding. So yes, makes total sense. Had never thought of that. I mean, we don't get this kind of branding in the US, so I'm not used to it. But I was like, wow, very good of Kieran to be like, I know, you look around the branding. Great. So he's going to ask Nicole's brother to help him out, which I was like, he's not even in the game. How does he get to help?
And I was worried, though. I was like, I don't know. They're not really working together that much. Like, I just was like, it could be bad. Like, I mean, I guess they are working together. We find out a little bit later that, like, they are having conversations. But, like, would you want her brother to know about that? What if you wanted to keep it secret? What do you want to, like, I don't know. So I didn't even know it was going to be for sure an idol. I wasn't sure what it was at that point.
Sure. Right. It does turn out to be an idol, though, flat out. He's got a necklace. I think he was just like, there are a few people here and I'm going to go ahead and just get it instead of waiting for, I don't know, trying to get a moment by himself or something. So Kieran has it, but he has to let a few people know about it. We're going to move to day 32 here for our immunity challenge. And it's just these three people. No one else gets to watch. so weird that they don't watch. I don't know.
Is it for like the excitement factor of like when we see after the child's like,
Mm-hmm.
who's wearing what necklace? Who is it?
Mm-hmm.
Can you see? Like, is it just for that moment?
Yeah,
That's
probably, which was a good moment, actually, especially since they very much don't want one person to win. And guess what? He's going to win. So
that's actually where I screamed. I was mixing these things up.
Oh, that's a good moment. He flat out says, I picked these people because they're not going to win. And I was like, well, that's true. But you said it. You said it publicly. And then Anella just could not even get started with this comp. He's like throwing that grappling hook or whatever it's called, cannot pull that ring back. Chappies and Santini are way ahead. They're getting started on this maze puzzle. But Anella does catch up, and it is close here. Like, this was tense. I thought. I was like, oh my God, is Anella going to pull this out?
Super tense. And so, like, especially with how reckless Santini is with holding this, she's just like pulling the thing. And I'm like, Santini, you just got to slow down, like, get into the zone, like, breathe through this. Like, you can't be just like, and so, like, it just cut to like the very precise movements of like Chappies and Anella, and then it's just like the reckless movements of Santini, which is very startling at times.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were going back and forth.
Really is this how we do this? Is this working? I don't know.
I mean, I guess like if you go fast, it jumps over those holes. If you go slowly, it just falls right in. So maybe it's just to like maybe bounce over those holes. But yeah, no, near the end though, when it was like going back and forth, I'm like, wait, Chappies is green, right? Chappies is green. And like I have to like keep on remembering because I just would do the close up of like the ball in the middle area, and I didn't know whose was whose, Chappies and Anella. So yeah, it was a very intense moment.
Yes, but Chappies is going to pull it out. He's going to win immunity for the third time in a row. And as they walk back to camp, it is not what they wanted to see.
Very happy about that. Very happy about that. I do wish, we speculated about it last week, that they allowed there to be one last immunity island, because that would have been really fun to just disrupt what their plans were completely. It would have completely disrupted it. Because like if they're allowed to use something up until that tribal, there should, like, I feel as though the last opportunity to get an advantage should be that same, reward challenge or like immunity challenge. So
it was interesting. I mean, they got an advantage at the reward, which we see. But then for him to just flat out say, no more immunity island, because we wouldn't have it we wouldn't have it anymore, right? We don't play advantages anymore. So there's no point. So it was kind of a letdown to be like, I didn't have a heads up here, Like,
kinda. Especially if you're saying you can play things at 7 or whatever it is, 6, whatever number they're at. They're 6? Yeah.
They're at 6 right now, yeah.
It would make sense to me if like, okay, no more advantage. Anything that you get from this round of playing needs to be used this episode or this tribal. It would make sense to me. So I'm wondering why they didn't want to have Immunity Island. It's the name of the season.
Yeah, they just didn't. They already had 2 idols that could possibly be in play. They didn't want more. Mackenzie's bringing up a good point. That is not what Nico said. He did not say it's all over. So I'm jumping the gun on that. I just was thinking, what would be the point moving forward? But I guess the point is you could still be safe. But that feels just like,
what did
an
Nico
advantage.
Say?
He just said there's not today. He just said there's no immunity island today. He didn't say like it's over, there's no more. But if you tell me this is the last tribal that I can use something, why would I go then?
Yeah, unless it's some sort of like battle back type thing or like Extinction Island type thing. But there's no idols over there, so why would you ever go back? I feel like it's over.
Yeah, I would feel that way too. Not sure. We'll find out next week or maybe. But let's get into the bulk of this mess of this episode. So back at Austin Delay here, the first thing I'm confused about is that Santini thinks she's checking in. Still Tyson? The vote's still Tyson? And I was like, wait, what? Santini actually believes Kieran that they're going to vote out Tyson?
Well, maybe because like they had that conversation last episode. Didn't she? Wasn't he saying like, "Oh yeah, I'll do that for sure"? Like, wasn't he kind of pretending to be in on the plan with them? And so maybe
Yeah, he's
I don't know.
playing double agent. I just, in my heart of hearts, thought that Santini didn't buy it, but it
Or
appears that
maybe
she's
she didn't
buying it
buy
at
it
this
and she was just
point.
hoping that like if she says that, I mean, Tyson is one of the major players.
Yeah.
Yes, that he's really tight with Kieran, but like maybe Kieran will realize it's probably a game move for him to take out Tyson while he has these numbers right now. So maybe
Right.
Santini was hoping that like,
Mhm.
okay, you didn't want to take him out last time, but maybe this time is a better time for you.
The same? The same? All right. They're agreeing. Nicole saying yes, Kieran saying yes. So that's where her head is at. But Kieran, who we see they're talking about voting out Santini. They can't get Chappies out. Santini's the next one that they want. But Kieran makes a very good point. Nicole is the one that we have to worry about for challenges. We can beat Santini in anything. Yes, gentlemen, I know that you're annoyed by her and you don't want to live with her at camp. But Nicole is the person standing in the way of us making it to the final three, League of Shadows making it to the final three. This is a very solid point, but he obviously has to, it looks like he has to work a little hard for Tyson, but really hard for Anella here at this point.
I mean, it makes sense to me that like he should have handled it maybe a little bit more like make it Anella's idea or see where Anella's feelings was about that being a possibility before laying it out as like this is the smart thing for us to do, because it just feels like a little bit like an ambush to Anella being like, wait, just that's not what we decided that we're doing. Like, I don't know if I'm all in on League of Legends. What is it called? League of Shadows.
League of Shadows.
If like this is what League of Shadows are going to do. Like League of Shadows are supposed to do Chappie, Santini, then Nicole, not Nicole, not any other, Nicole first anyways. And so I think that he really miscalculated how Anella feels about not being included on the plan and being told what to do. Yeah, this is the beginning of a little bit of a spiral of Anella's.
So I loved seeing Anella's thought process with this. He thinks if I turn on Nicole right now, this could lose jury votes. This is a good thought process for Anella. And he comes up with the plan. He knows all the information that Kieran has given him. Kieran has the idol. He's going to use it on Tyson. He has all this information. He goes to Nicole. He doesn't totally rat out everything to Nicole, but he says, I think what they're doing is flipping on you, not Santini. I think you do need to use your idol. And what if we went and got Kieran out instead? Because he's using the idol on Tyson. Nicole's like, great idea. Genius. I'm like, great idea. Oh my gosh. Chantele, earlier in the episode, when the family was there, I think it was Anella's brother said something like, man, you can win this or whatever. And I chuckled and went, this game. And then Anella starts bringing this to the table. And I thought, oh, forget everything I said about Anella. This whole passive game that he's been playing. I forget I said anything. Here we go. He just brought something huge to the table. He's going to take out the winner, Kieran. Oh my God, this is brilliant. This is where I am at this moment, Chantele.
I totally was like, whoa, this was not what I was expecting to be the result. Like, I just didn't think that there was any chance that he would turn on those boys. Like, he just seemed like he was so locked in. And I really thought that he was going to do whatever they wanted to do. And so the fact that he was making this decision to go against one of them because of like Kieran's misplay, I was like, wow, Kieran fumbled hard here. I was shocked.
Yes. Yes, very shocked because we went from here to here to here, right? So Anella at this point is pitching this amazing thing. I think we're about to blindside Kieran, who I think is about to win this game. This is so incredible. And I think the mistake was he looped in Santony and he didn't need to loop in Santony. But also the bigger mistake is let the pride and ego go, buddy. You still had the plan. They were ready to enact it just because they fiddled with it a little bit and it's not your ideal process or path. He chucked the whole thing out the window.
Like he pinky swore with the Santony. I was like, this is like he's definitely was in it. And I thought that what they were doing was just ensuring that they knew who was going to be going out. Like they were just troubleshooting. So like I didn't understand. Like I get he wanted this to be a massive blindside, and that he didn't want there to look like they were taking any precautions that something else might have gone a different way. Like that's basically what he was annoyed about. Like the fact that like, well, he's like, I know for a fact that he's going to play the idol for Tyson. So because I know that fact, we can put all the votes on Kieran. But they're just like, yeah, we believe you. But like, what if this happens? Or what if he decides to put it on himself? Like, what if like, you know what I mean? He might get spooked. Who knows? And so like, maybe we should just do 2-2-2 to keep it all spread out, just so that we can know what could happen in case he doesn't do what we're expecting him to do. To me, it's very logical. And he could still say that he came up with the plan. Just like you said, it's still his idea. He is the one that's taking the intel from Tyson and Kieran, sharing it with these other people, using this idol against him. He'd get credit no matter what. But he didn't care for that.
Yes! Anella, you're getting credit no matter what. I don't understand why it's so weird. I've never heard someone talk about getting credit so much. There was a few episodes ago where I was like, Anella, why do you think going this way is a Nasu's plan, but going this way is your plan when it was Kieran's plan? Like neither one made sense to me, but the whole thought process on like who's getting credit for what just does not line up. And
like get to the end and tell people how it was your plan. Like
yes, sit at the end and be like, it was my idea. But first off, get yourself to the end. What is happening here? I can't believe that he literally got so upset that it was not his perfect route that he thought it's better to blow up my game than risk this not being solely my plan. Is that what happened? Because I think that's what happened.
Yeah. And it was just also really confusing though, because it's like, well, okay, you don't want to do a move that could help you win the game because of the fact that somebody else might get more credit for it, for them tweaking your plan to make it more effective and work better.
Just tweaked.
Yeah. It's just tweaked. Like you still get, it's still your presentation, but we're just going to tweak it to make it functional. Okay. And then you're going to say like, well, if I can't have it being the poor version of my plan, then we can't have it at all.
My poor.
And instead, I'm going to tell the person that I was going to blindside, even though it might ruin my game and I will not win the game now, most likely. I would say actually for sure. I don't think he has a chance to win the game at all now, even if he gets to the end, because of the fact that he is outing this whole plan that he's not going through with anymore to Kieran. So what's the purpose of outing the plan if the purpose was like because you weren't going to win the game because you weren't going to get credit? Now you're not going to win the game because you just want Kieran to be like, wow, like you were going to blindside me? Like, is that all he wanted? Is to be like, what? You nearly got one up on me? Like, I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah, the thought process didn't make sense, but ultimately, Anella is going to go to Kieran and blow up his own game, spill it all. I told them you have an idol. I told them we were going to blindside you. And they messed it up. They made it too complicated. So I'm telling you, I'm with you 100%. Kieran's like, wait, what? Okay. And like Kieran calmly listens, asks a couple questions, and then walks away and is like, oh my gosh, Anella just maybe ruined my game, but definitely ruined his own game. And that's it. Kieran no longer trusts you, Anella. You're not in the League of Shadows.
No.
Bye-bye to your game.
No. And
Whoa.
it's like, it's just very unfortunate because maybe it was just like his own, way of messing up his own win. Like maybe maybe he didn't want to win, like deep down, like kind of scared of fear of failure, fear of success, all that stuff, like kind of crept in and made him do the worst thing for his possible game for him to lose. Because if he made that move happen and he took out Kieran and then got control of the numbers, takes out Tyson next, like doing those two moves back to back, who cares if Chappie's in the mix there? Like at this point, like he's not going to get the votes against you now because you've done these two big moves. And so I really think that he was in the right direction to take over the game and win. And he's like, you know what? No, I don't want to do that. I want to make sure that I lose instead. Yeah.
It's like a fear of, like an automatic reflex fear of success. It was like, oh my God, like this is the game winning move. I think it was going to work, Joseph. I think if they had just, I don't care if it was 3 or 4 or 2-2-2, whichever way they did it, Kieran had no idea that he was going to get any votes. He was going to throw his idol down for Tyson. And all of a sudden, Kieran was going to be out of the game. It was going to be really incredible. But I mean, luckily for Kieran, Anella messed it up. And we're going to go to Tribal. And Kieran's just going to be like, hi, Nico. I've got a couple things to say. Clear the air. And he just says it all. Throws Anella up under the bus, around the bus, shoved him into the bus, made sure the jury heard Anella. He messed up.
I mean, I loved it. I'm like, Kieran, spill every last drop. Every last drop. Like, I was just like, yes, please, spill that tea. And I was really hoping. I was really hoping, though, that the whole tea spilling moment was going to allow them to just like, screw Anella, let's get rid of him. Like, that's what I was hoping was going to happen with this whole tea spilling moment. Because I'm like, I don't think he deserves to get away with making this big of a fumble. It was so bad.
Yeah, but I think, his game's over. I think there's nothing. We'll see. Well, Anella's going to try to talk back a little bit. He also clears the air, but he's like, head versus heart. My heart just wasn't in it. And we're like, no, I think that might have been your ego.
Your ego wasn't getting stroked in the way that you like it.
Yeah, I think that might have been what it is. And then Santony gets heated.
Well, I like when Sandy gets involved, whatever, because she was just asking questions. But then I didn't like how Kieran was coming at her with being like, oh, you're playing victim. She was just asking questions, in my opinion. And those questions were making them feel bad. And so, like, it just because what she is asking them is making them not feel good about themselves doesn't mean that she's playing victim. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like Santony is somebody, like, I've definitely seen players that play the victim. I don't really feel that from Santony. How do you?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm purely entertained. Yeah. I think what she was saying in this moment was playing the victim. I'm purely entertained by her. I absolutely adore her. But I do think the way that she was phrasing the things were like, you came at me. Like, why do you do this to me? Like, it had a little bit to that. And even though I felt like Kieran he was a little too heated, and I was like, we don't need to keep going with this. But I did value his point of like, girl, we're both doing it to each other. Like, you're not the only victim, which I do agree. But, it's all performance for the jury at this point.
Well, one thing I was going to say very slightly, though, about Anella is like a couple of weeks ago, I was just mentioning that like he really wanted to be with the boys rather than side with the women. And so I do think that this is also another reason why he may have decided to stick with Kieran, because I think it was because it was Nicole and Santony that were kind of being like, no, this is the way that we should do it. I don't think that he wants to be told what to do from a woman. Like, I think he prefers to be playing this game and taking advice or decision from men. Like, it just really just seems that he prefers that for whatever reason.
Yeah, that is what it seems like, because going back to that time that he could have gotten one of them out with a Nesu, but he just couldn't go with a female's plan. Like, I don't know if that's it, but boy, riding the coattails of men just seems more appealing than going along with a better plan for your game. Aren't you trying to win? Like, I missed the comment, but it said something about Anela being dragged to the end as a GOAT. I think that that's where he was already. I think Tyson and Kieran were planning on taking him to third because he hadn't done anything in the game. But now I don't think you do drag him to the end because you can't trust him.
Yeah,
he's still not going to get votes.
He won't get votes, so that could be why he would be dragged to the end. But now, though, I just don't think that, like, even did he tell Nicole, like, that he wasn't happy with this plan anymore? Like, for the person that he flipped his whole mindset around, Nicole, because of the fact that he didn't like that they were coming for her and that wasn't part of the plan. Did he tell her that, like, after they switched the plan that he was going to go and tell Kieran about it? Because, like, doesn't that mean that Nicole might be irritated by him?
I don't know that he did because of her vote. I don't know that he did, which, yeah, that would be a big thing if he didn't loop back in with Nicole. That would be, but what would he say to Nicole? I changed my mind. She'd be like, no, you had very valid points. What are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, if that had happened, I think that she would have definitely have changed, like, at least told Chappies and Santini, even though, like, they're not working together. Like, if he had said something to her, like, they would have changed who they were voting for, I think.
Yeah. Well, we're going to get to the votes, and Kieran is going to play the idol for himself now. I thought at this point, I was like, maybe no one might even vote for you because
I thought he was going to hold on to it. I thought that he was going to, that's like nerves. It was the last time you can play it though, right? So you might as well play it for yourself. Yeah.
Either play it for yourself or Tyson. Sorry guys, I keep choking out right here.
It happens to me all the time with Alex, and people are like, why are you coughing? I'm like, scared of me. And I'm like, honestly, it's just a tickle. It's just a tickle in my throat. It happens all the time. Season changes. Like, it's getting to be fall.
It is, but it's like getting worse. So sorry, guys. Okay. Wait.
Happens to me all the time. Well,
you go through it. Hold on. You go through it.
Sarah. So I'm just gonna go back to with Sarah thinking that Santini is playing the victim. I think that Santini was kind of, I think she was making points that made them feel bad. And I don't think that she was actually feels victimized. Like, I think she's just playing like, well, how do you expect me to feel? What do you expect me to do? And putting it out there that way. But I don't know if she actually feels like she is the victim. But I do like Santini's antics. I just went back to Santini.
Thank you. Keep talking. My husband is bringing me a cough drop. But yes, did you finish a thought?
Yeah, I finished a thought.
Okay. Well, Kieran plays the idol for himself. Then Nicole plays her fire idol. This is questionable here, right? Did she need to? But she doesn't know what's going on. So I think she thinks she does need to, right?
Yeah, like, you don't know where the votes are falling now, of course, with like everybody, with all the people outing everything. Like, so is Kieran still the plan? Like, who do we do instead? Who's Kieran gonna play his idol on? So I would probably I wouldn't think that I would have any votes. I would be so I would probably not have played the fire idol, because, like, if I was going to be safe as Nicole, I don't think I would play it.
Do you think she thinks she's safe though? Because if Kieran didn't loop back in with her, the last she heard
that
is
Kieran was the plan.
Oh yeah, did I say Kieran or
I mean, sorry,
yeah,
Nicole. I said Kieran. You said it. You said it right.
Anella didn't loop back into her. So she's still under the impression that they might flip on her. She doesn't know.
I guess, yeah. So the votes might have been still at least Kieran and Tyson for her potentially. Fair.
Yeah, because when she plays it, Tyson is like, oh, she didn't need to do that. And I was like, yeah, but Tyson, did you tell her? She heard you guys might be flipping on her. Like, sorry, buddy, I know you think you're about to make fire, but you are. But she doesn't know that, and she's got to protect herself. I'd have played the crap out of that thing.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would have to play it, but I just think I don't know if it's a good, it's a good advantage, to be honest. I'm like, well, if it's 3-2 and the person that you wanted to get out, wins, then you kind of missed your opportunity to get the person that you wanted out.
Absolutely. But do you want to go home?
No.
I'd rather,
I mean,
if I'm like, I
risk.
might be going home, I'd rather make fire, right? Oh boy, what a last 5 minutes, you guys. Thank you for bearing with me. I think I'm gonna survive. Gonna be okay. So the votes turn out wonky because this whole thing is wonky. Kieran's gonna get a vote.
Yeah, and that was from Nicole, correct?
That's the one from Nicole, who's clearly on a different page. Then Santini vote, then a Tyson vote, then a Santini, then a Tyson, then a Santini.
So yeah, actually, sorry, why did Nicole vote for Kieran? So I just realized that now that we're talking about the vote breakdown, because no matter what, she had to have known now with everything that was being said at Tribal. He puts the necklace on at Tribal. Like, no matter what, you would assume that he's going to be playing this idol for himself at this point. He's either playing it for himself or he's not going to play it. But I think that it was too nervous that he was going to go home and he doesn't know where the votes are going to fall. I just don't think that the odds of him not playing it were high enough for her to vote for him. So the next best thing is obviously Tyson. Why?
Right. Okay. Nicole is the one who, remember that reward that when they went to a water park and she took her entire alliance and Rainier was like, you don't know how to play this game. This is horrible strategy. I feel like she might not, she's really good at comps, but she might not think those extra steps. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I guess. I was just like, I just didn't understand when Kieran got a vote. I was like, was they just all still piled it on him just in case? Like, I was just confused. There's no way that I would have voted for Kieran after that Tribal. That's just pretty.
I agree. I wouldn't have voted for Kieran, but then if I were Kieran, I wouldn't have played it on myself because I would have assumed no one was voting for me. I would have played it on Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
But he did get a vote, so it turns out he still didn't need to play it on himself because
at all.
He only got one vote, so he was not going to make fire. Our top two vote getters here are Tyson and Santini, and so now, honestly, this is for the audience. Thank you, Nicole, for playing this because we want to watch them make fire. Santini and Tyson.
It was very exciting.
Here we go. Hold on.
Go ahead. Are you going to make fire right now?
I have to reenact this whole thing. All right.
Okay, yes, thank you. I'm so excited. I love theater.
Santini, Tyson at their fire stations. Santini's chunks are flying off. Thank you for Sean's commentary in the jury. He's like, oh, she's doing it right. And she is. She's flinging those chunks off. We've got fire already. Tyson's over there. He looks like he's starting to panic. He's scrape. He's got nothing. We got no sparks. Santini, she's got fire, literal fire happening. Anella and Kieran's faces are like, holy crap, we're about to lose Tyson. The jury's like, snap, Santini. Flames are flying up. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, Tyson also has flames flying up. They both have fire at the same time. I'm losing it. I'm like, what is happening right now? Santini's about to take Tyson out in fire. But the difference was Tyson, what is this stuff? What is this stuff?
Husk?
He kept, yeah, it's like dried weeds.
I
It's
think
like
it's
hay.
coconut husk.
Oh, is it husks? Like shredded husks or something?
Oh, that
Whatever
magnesium,
that
is it? Oh, I don't know.
No. The dry stuff that they use for kindling
Yeah, I think it's
instead of
coconut
the
husk.
sticks.
Mm-hmm.
So he's piling that together and pushing it higher. And she did not. She kind of like had some on the sides, but wasn't pushing it together like
And she's just
he
like
was.
blowing and trying to like, because she had the wind that was like really affecting her thing from kind of
Yeah.
going upward as well.
I think that's the difference, because some people thought the wind blew her fire off to the side, but I think it was blowing both of them, because I went back and watched it a second time, and he was really like pushing it in the middle and up and sort of helping to direct that fire. And she did not. And even though they both had insane fires going, Tyson's flag up first. And that means Santony's out, Chantele.
I was like, what? And like even someone's like, ooh, they thought that Santony couldn't make fire. And like they were like, whoa. That's close. And you know what? Maybe they planned that though. They'd be like, okay, whatever, we get these votes, put on Santony. She won't be able to do fire. Whoever has to go against her, they'll win against her no matter what. And so they probably did that on purpose. And honestly, like all Santony had to do, I was waiting for people to bring in like the small pieces of wood and make a little teepee so it would just have a very controlled, contained, like strong fire. So that's what I thought was going to happen. And yeah, like Tyson did end up trying to contain that fire a little bit. And that was what cost Santony the win here. She was very close, but all she had to have done was just put like some teepee. Where's the teepee?
She had one little low teepee, and that she did keep bringing in those little wood sticks, and I was like, it's not the wood sticks, it's the like kindling whatever that stuff is. Anyway, just in time to die again.
I'm sorry, I feel for you. It's happened.
I got through my reenactment though. So I can't believe we lost Santony. I thought for sure she was going to make it to the end just because of her edit, but I think it was because she was just so gosh darn entertaining that she was just going to be all over this edit all season.
She went out in a flame, in a blaze of glory. Actually, like if I was Santony, this would be a way that I would want to go out, like she wasn't blindsided. Like she knew that she was on the chopping block. Like she had to go and win it with fire. She was really close to doing it. And it just so happens that his string broke first. It wasn't like she was terrible at making fire and like didn't have anything going. Like it was just a matter of it wasn't meant for her.
Yeah, absolutely. She should feel great about her fire making skills. They didn't show us of her practicing, but we heard her mention it, and I feel like she did. She obviously had some great fire making skills. It just at the last minute his won. So Tyson is still in the game with Kieran, but I don't feel like they're a trio with Anella anymore. And Chappies is now working with Nicole and Anella, maybe?
I mean, anything to keep Chappies in this game now. He is just running. He's like, they're coming for you, Chappies. Like, you need to figure something out. All I was thinking, though, at the end of this, I was like, and Kieran, you better come for Anella right now. Like, because I would be so mad at Anella. So I hope that he's going to want to have some revenge against Anella and get his eyes off of Chappies. Because I'll just be very frustrated if Anella made such a big blunder and he still gets to move forward, him and Nicole, over Chappies. I'll be just like, poop.
Yeah, Asher, good question. Is Chappies only safe with a necklace on? Well, kind of, but if Anella bumped up the list, I don't know.
Well, and also though, if Nicole is kind of working with Chappies, I don't remember exactly what happened in the preview for the next episode, but I do remember seeing them talk. And so if she's kind of bruised by how Anella treated her, maybe it will be that she could rope the other two guys in to go for Anella. Maybe that's kind of where things might go. But Chappie just needs to win that immunity. Like,
Yeah, Chappies needs to win immunity to make sure he's safe because, yeah, he in danger. But honestly, Anella, get your head in the game, pair up with Chappies and Nicole, and take out one of Kieran and Tyson because they are the two strongest people together. Like, Chappies is strong. Nicole is strong at comps. But Tyson and Kieran together, they are a power duo. Why you would keep them together just boggles the mind. But you know what? Anella boggles the mind.
he does. Like, he doesn't. I don't think he gets how to play this particular game. He's playing something different. I don't know. Like, I mean, he's probably a big fan, and he probably thinks he's doing a good job, but I don't think he has the mind for how to actually win this game. It's not about like who gets credit for. No. There's CV.
Clearly not.
It's not all about that.
Clearly. Yeah, you got to get to the end first, buddy.
I'm going to have a coughing attack right now.
Uh-oh. I'm sorry. I sent it all the way to Canada. I'm so sorry. Oh, my God. Something in the air. It's all that fire that Tyson and Santini made. The smoke has gotten into our throats. Yes. So I feel like you can't trust Anella, and Kieran and Tyson are going to be mad, but also I don't feel like Anella is a threat. Nicole and Chappies are much better at competitions. Anella does not have a great track record for that. So it is a bit of a, which way do we go? Is he worth getting out, or do we need to stay focused?
No matter what, since there's not going to be any hidden idols being played, that this is the first time that Kieran and Tyson are going to be completely unarmed for sure. Like, there's nothing that's going to be saving them. And so if it were me playing with those two guys, whichever of the two of them did not win immunity, I would be taking the other one out. I would, that's what I would have happen. I mean, I know Anella is like the piece of the puzzle here that is probably not going to do that, even though he still, like, even if he didn't follow through with the plan, you still did deceive them. Like, that's, it just, hello. So Anella, they're not going to be on your side anymore. Come with us, come to the dark side, and you got to take out one of those guys. You just got to.
I still cannot believe that Anella went from here to, oh my God.
Like way down.
Whoa. Whoa. He was so close to being like revered as a legend. And now he's just a legend of like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
This kind of legend.
Memorable moments.
Yeah. Can you imagine telling Kieran that you were going to blindside him, but you're not anymore?
No,
I can't.
I just would never do that.
I would never. I would do anything.
That he would never find out that I was ever going to do that. If I wasn't going to follow through to me, I'd be like, oh my God, no, maybe we have to take him out, because like if he ever finds out that I was going to do that, that's not great for my game. So we have to go through with it now. We got to get him out.
Yeah. Exactly. That is how the thought process. You'd be like, oh crap, do I backpedal? Nope, too late now. I'm too far in. He can't find out about this. Wow. Anyway, what an episode. By the end of it, I was like, wait, this was family visits? I didn't even remember that anymore.
I just think the whole journey that I went on is like, I really didn't think, people had told me like, oh my God, this episode. And I'm watching it. I'm like, where's the, oh my God, this episode? And then I was like, oh my God, this episode. So they were right. Episode. I was surprised in the end by how it all went down.
And fire alone, that was so exciting. I really thought Santini was about to take Tyson out with fire. That would have been insane.
I'm sad that it did. Like,
and I still don't think I like, it will take me till next episode not seeing Santini to fully understand she's not in the show anymore. I never thought she was going to be voted out.
Me neither. And it's just going back to 3 episodes ago when we were like, do the flip. And I think this is also Anesu, probably her not allowing her own fear of success, like, you know, creeping in and not allowing her to make that move happen, like convincing Chappies to make that move happen, because they needed to have flipped that time when they had the opportunity to take out Warda and Tyson, and it would have been done, and they would have been in a way better position, all of them, including Anella.
Yep.
So
we can all go right back to that point and say
so right now, Kieran's probably going to win this game, which is fine. Like, I'm happy that he played an excellent game so far.
I feel like he deserves to win the game at this point, but I would like to see Chappies make it very, very difficult for him.
Yes.
And if Chappies can make it to the end, then he deserves to win.
100%, because he's been a moving target this whole time. They've been trying to get him for a long time.
Absolutely.
So he would deserve it too.
He's got a jury full of people who would love to vote for him. So if he can make it there, that would be really good for Chappies. Yes, chat, there are 16 episodes. So we have 3 more after today, after this week. Almost there. So close.
Almost there.
How is this 5 going to cannibalize each other?
It's like basically it's going to end, and then it's going to be Survivor US.
Yes.
It's going to be like kind of like in the same week, I think. Wow, a little trade-off.
Does that add up? Nice. Yes. Can go right into it. I'm very excited. We've gotten some teasers about Survivor 41, Survivor US. Can't wait for that coming up. Perfect. We'll wrap this up for that. Well, you guys in the chat, thank you so much for joining us, keeping us entertained. Thank you for dealing with all the coughs that were happening. So weird. Perfect timing when you're live on the internet. And thank you, Chantele. Thank you for being here.
Love it.
I hope everyone is subscribed to Reality Realness. It's linked right below. Make sure you're watching all the other coverage Chantele's doing. Everything. Big Brother. Bachelor in Paradise.
Bachelor in Paradise. Yes. The Challenge. Yes. I think that's all I'm doing right now. Wow. It just like, I was doing Love Island, US and UK every day. And so the fact that like I haven't had to do that, I was like, there's just so much time in the world. But yes, I'm doing those shows.
Asher, thank you for the super chat. I feel like you're a fan of Chappies. Am I picking up what you're putting down? Yeah.
I'm a fan of Chappies too.
He's been super entertaining. Big Brother is going to finish the week before. Wait, no, the week after Survivor US. So Survivor, right? So the Survivor US is like what, 22nd, and then the next week Big Brother ends. So I don't think we'll have all 3 the same week, but we will have a little bit of overlap there. Chappie's wife with her little pregnant belly. Very cute.
That was a sweet moment. And
he was trying to keep that a secret, right? That's not a secret anymore.
True. He was like, yeah, I don't want them to know that like I have a baby, because then I'm too much of a jury threat.
Well,
they're
already trying to get you out. Yeah. So
they don't want you there.
Oh my God, the smelling of the hair. I was like, Chappies. Oh my God.
It's clean.
He is a one of a kind. Yeah, right. It probably was the best smelling thing he's had in so long, because they stink at this point. All right. Well, Chantele and I will be back same time next week for more Survivor South Africa. And obviously, I as well have Big Brother all week long. So I will see you guys then. Bye.